Chapter 505. Surround the Warrior Alliance in the Hall of the Warrior Alliance. Master, the Grand Elder has surrounded the main hall with his subordinates. Qian Kuan reported to Xiahojia. In the hall at this moment, not only were the 5 generals of the Warrior Alliance present, but also many powerful members from various families, all of whom had good relations with Xiahojia. Humph. Xiahojia snorted. The enemy comes, we block. Water comes, we cover with earth. I've been displeased with the Grand Elder for a long time. If people didn't know better, they would think he's the true leader of the Warrior Alliance. Let's fight, Master. Yes, Master, let's fight. At worst, in 18 years, we'll have another life. All the clan leaders looked to Xiahojia, awaiting his command. Meanwhile, Yi Liu leisurely sipped his tea, observing the cup in his hand, realizing it was made of valuable white jade. Seeing Yi Li's nonchalant attitude, Li Yanlu furrowed her brows. Demon King Yi Li, this whole mess is because of you. Why are you acting as if nothing happened? Li Yanlu looked displeased at Yi Li. Yi Li smiled faintly. Yanlu, if one don't act like this, what else should one do? Do you want me to cry? Upon hearing this, Li Yanlu became furious. She stared at Yi Li. You. Then Li Yanlu turned to Xiahojia. Master, I don't think we need to help him. He doesn't care, so why should we? Li Yanlu was genuinely angry. The main hall of the Warrior Alliance was already surrounded, and yet Yi Li remained so indifferent. How could she not be angry? Xiahojia hadn't spoken yet when a grim voice echoed in everyone's ears. Xiahojia, one don't want to make things difficult for you. We'll settle our accounts later. Hand over the Demon King Yi Li. If you choose not to, you should know the consequences. The voice belonged to the Grand Elder, Wang Zong. Upon hearing this, Yi Li slowly stood up from his seat, his face calm as still water. Afraid? No. Yi Li would never be afraid. If someone wanted to deal with him, he would face it. Let's see who's more formidable. Li Yanlu watched Yi Li's back in amazement. Is he crazy? Going out alone? In Li Yanlu's eyes, Yi Li walking out like this meant nothing but seeking death. Let's go out too, Xiahojia said. Soon everyone in the main hall walked out. Yi Li walked out slowly and saw hundreds of genetic warriors in front of him. Even the lowest among them was a 10th tier evolved being. The highest was, of course, Grand Elder Wang Zong, and most others were 1st or 2nd tier transcenders. Such a force gathered together was enough to destroy heaven and earth. Demon King Yi Li, you finally came out. Wang Zong looked at Yi Li coldly. Xiahojia also led hundreds of genetic warriors to stand in front of Yi Li. Various forces that came to watch the battle held their breath because they knew that if a fight broke out, it would be earth-shattering. You old dog, do you really think you can avenge Wang Tian? Yi Li looked at Wang Zong indifferently. As soon as these words came out, everyone involuntarily gasped. They couldn't have imagined that Yi Li would dare to call the Grand Elder an old dog. Demon King Yi Li, today is your death date. Wang Zong roared angrily. He was already infuriated to the extreme. Death. Yi Li smiled calmly. No one can kill me. Chapter 506. Skill Synthesis. Wang Zong looked at Xiahojia with a cold expression. Xiahojia, do you really intend to help the Demon King Yi Li? Yes. Wang Zong's expression turned cold and he gritted his teeth saying, in that case let's fight. As the words fell, Wang Zong gave the order. Attack. Suddenly, more than 400 high-level genetic warriors rushed towards Yi Li. Xiahojia was about to give the command but was stopped by Yi Li. He looked at Yi Li in great confusion. Demon King Yi Li, what are you doing? Yi Li smiled. This matter started because of me. There's no need to involve you. Just watch. With that, Yi Li released Ada and Hongya from the system space. 2 10th tier master level zombies. Yi Li didn't release the other zombies. He knew that if he let them out, they would only become cannon fodder. Roar. Ada unleashed the earth level skill. 3000 Ghost Cry Fist. Hongya used the earth level skill. Freeze the 9 heavens. The strength of 2 10th tier master level zombies, combined with earth level skills, was no joke. They hurriedly retreated. Wang Zong didn't make a move. He never expected that Yi Li would have 2 10th tier master level zombies. Demon King Yili, one heard you have an Apocalypse Legion. Are these two 10th tier master level zombies your reliance? Wang Zong's expression was terrifyingly cold. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. It's fair. Since you want to avenge your grandson, come then. Yili spoke slowly, his face showing no emotion. The various forces watching the battle held their breath. In their eyes, Demon King Yili and the two 10th tier master level zombies were truly terrifying. Divine Power Palm. Suddenly, Wang Zong fiercely struck towards Yili. A palm formed from gathered spiritual energy came crashing down towards Yili. The attack was terrifying beyond measure. Yili activated the 6th level of the Ancient Devil Tome, and his overall attributes skyrocketed. Demon God Domineering Fist. Yili used the Heaven level skill, Demon God Domineering Fist. In an instant, countless terrifying fist shadows, accompanied by numerous gods and demons, attacked the giant palm. Boom! A thunderous sound shook the heavens and the earth. All the genetic warriors watching the battle collapsed to the ground. Their eyes were filled with horror. How is this possible? Wang Zong roared in anger. He couldn't believe that Yili had actually withstood his attack. Attack! Wang Zong roared again, and hundreds of genetic warriors used their respective skills, launching an onslaught towards Yili. Skill Synthesis. Flame Blade Technique, Primordial Demon Slash, Sky Demon Tyrant Blade Technique, Demonic Devil Blade Cross Slash and Demon God Domineering Fist. 4 SSS level skills combined with 1 Heaven level skill. In an instant, a giant god demon, hundreds of meters in size, appeared behind Yili. Boom! A demonic aura swept across 30,000 miles, and a single fist chilled the entire world. How could words describe such an attack? In an instant, the world changed color. The genetic warriors were sent flying one after another. Silence, a deadly silence. The various forces watching the battle had their eyes widened like never before. Wang Zong's old face showed extreme horror. He couldn't believe such an attack. He truly couldn't believe that it was unleashed by a second-tier transcender. Xiahojie and the others were in the same state. They all stood there like statues, unable to move. Chapter 507. Entering the Heavenly Tower to cultivate it was the Demon King Yili after all. This cheat was ridiculous. 4 SSS level skills and 1 Sky level skill. Could it be a joke to synthesize them together? This blow scared hundreds of genetic warriors. Wang Zong regained his senses, looking at Yili in shock. Demon King Yili, one didn't expect you to be this terrifying. Wang Zong couldn't believe it. He really couldn't believe it. Yili's face was calm as water, as if nothing had happened. He's actually so powerful. Li Yanlu looked at Yili in astonishment. She stared at Yili's slightly thin figure. When Yili unleashed that terrifying attack just now, she felt like she was in the depths of hell. No wonder he could be so calm and composed in the main hall. At this moment, Li Yanlu truly understood the true terror of Yili. Grand Elder, let's retreat. Even if we go all out, we can kill this Demon King Yili, but Xiahojie and the others are eyeing us. A second-tier transcender said to Wang Zong. Wang Zong pondered for a few seconds, then looked coldly at Yili. Demon King Yili, we will meet again. After speaking, the Grand Elder led hundreds of genetic warriors away. Yili didn't choose to pursue. Even if he could kill Wang Zong, the cost would be too high. However, he knew that before long, Wang Zong would die. Yili didn't idle. He ordered the Apocalypse Legion to gather zombies, and this time, he would gather countless zombies. The scope of gathering zombies this time was wider, from various regions in the northern domain. Although his strength was decent now, he still couldn't do whatever he wanted in the northern domain. If necessary, he would buy berserk potions from the Point Mall. He had used berserk potions several times before, and during the time in the ruins of the wilderness city, he slept for a whole year due to using too many berserk potions. Now it was time for him to cultivate. After crossing into this parallel world, he had never practiced. He could level up just by synthesizing zombies. But today was different. He had to cultivate. I'm going into secluded cultivation, Yili said to Xiahojie. Xiahojie was puzzled. Secluded cultivation? Before Xiahojie could speak, Yili disappeared on the spot. Yili arrived at the top of a mountain. If the host wants to cultivate, you can enter the heavenly tower for cultivation. The system's voice suddenly appeared in Yili's mind. Yili was slightly stunned. He didn't know that heavenly tower could be used for cultivation. Then he took out heavenly tower from the system space. After heavenly tower recognized him as its master, he found that he could use heavenly tower at will. Yili entered the first floor of heavenly tower. He felt a rich spiritual energy. He had been to places with rich spiritual energy before, but this level of concentration was unprecedented. It wasn't difficult to imagine. The higher the floor, the more concentrated the spiritual energy. After reaching the fourth floor, Yili found that he couldn't go up anymore. There was no choice. He could only cultivate on the fourth floor. Unexpectedly, on the fourth floor, not only was the spiritual energy extremely rich, but time also passed extremely quickly. One day inside was equivalent to a month outside. Ding! Congratulations to the host for upgrading your talent to the earth level. Hearing the system's voice, Yili originally thought that SSS level was the highest talent, but now it seemed that it was far from that. Yili stayed on the fourth floor for a month. He went from a second-tier transcender to a third-tier transcender. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the opportunity of skill fusion. Chapter 508. All kinds of cheats. Opportunity for skill fusion? Yili was a bit puzzled. It means merging the desired skills into a completely new one. As the system explained, Yili understood. Please choose the skills you want to fuse. Without hesitation, Yili chose the skills: Flame Blade Technique, Primordial Demon Slash, Sky Demon Tyrant Blade Technique, and Demonic Devil Blade Cross Slash. These 4 skills were now only SSS level, and they were not very useful for him. Skill fusion begins. 10%, 30%, 60%, 100%. Skill fusion complete. Congratulations, host, on obtaining the heaven grade skill, Annihilation Finger. Annihilation Finger? Yili's face lit up. Now he had 2 heaven grade skills. With 2 heaven grade skills, unleashing an attack by combining skills, Yili couldn't help but imagine such a scene. It must be spectacular. Ding! Congratulations, host, for obtaining a chance to draw a random prize. The virtual pointer started spinning in the roulette. Congratulations, host, on drawing the weapon fusion skill. Weapon fusion? Yili was a bit stunned. What was this weapon fusion? Was it similar to skill fusion? Host, after weapon fusion, you can obtain a completely new weapon, but the new weapon will still have the original abilities of the old weapons. After contemplating for a few seconds, Yili said, "So, if the fused weapon is an axe, can one still enter the axe for cultivation?" "Yes, host." With the affirmative answer from the system, Yili felt relieved. "Now, please choose the weapons you want to fuse." Yili fused the dragon-slaying blade, Heavenly Tower, and Eastern Emperor Bell without hesitation. After a few seconds, the system's voice echoed in Yili's mind. Congratulations, host, on obtaining an unparalleled divine artifact, the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. Sword. Yili thought that the name Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword was indeed domineering, but he didn't know how powerful it was. The Ancient Devil Tome has transformed into the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. The Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo has been upgraded to the first level. Yili was stunned. What was going on? Did the Ancient Devil Tome voluntarily transform into this Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo? Yes, host. Because the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword is an unparalleled divine artifact, one implant a sword spirit into it for you. The Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo is the most suitable for you. After the Ancient Devil Tome turned into the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo, it meant that he was no longer a demon but a human. However, whether he was human or a demon, he didn't care. In his eyes, it was the same. At this moment, Yili was still in the heavenly tower of the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. Now that he was a third-tier transcender, he looked towards the 5th floor. When he was still a second-tier transcender, he couldn't enter the 5th floor. Afterwards, Yili advanced to the 5th floor. As expected, he could indeed enter the 5th floor now. The spiritual energy on the 5th floor was even denser, and time passed even faster. In this way, it took Yili another month to finally reach the 7th floor. The 7th floor was already the top floor. He had also become a 7th-tier transcender from a 3rd-tier transcender. Such a speed of advancement was probably unprecedented. Yili left the heavenly tower, looking at the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand. The ancient dragon abyss sword was entirely crimson, and it looked incredibly sharp. Ancient dragon abyss sword. Formed by the fusion of the dragon-slaying blade, heavenly tower, and Eastern Emperor bell. It possesses the sharpness of the dragon-slaying blade, the spatial abilities of heavenly tower, and the wailing of the Eastern Emperor bell. Without much thought, Yili stored the ancient dragon abyss sword in the system space. Chapter 509. Heaven-grade skills for all Apocalypse Legion members. Yili looked at the rising sun still on the mountain, and smiled inwardly. He glanced at his attribute panel. Host, Yili. System, Super Synthesis System. Weapon, Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. Realm, 7th-tier Transcender. Skills, Heaven-grade skill, Demon God Domineering Fist. Heaven-grade skill, Annihilation Finger. Zombies, Apocalypse Legion. Yili thought his realm was a bit low. He needed to continue cultivating. But before that, he had to synthesize some zombies. That's because the Apocalypse Legion had arrived with the zombies. Yili activated the swift steps and arrived at a city. Again, the city was filled with zombies. This time, the number of zombies was simply too much. Fortunately, Yili had the bulk synthesis ability. Otherwise, it would take him a lot of time. Ada, 10th tier master level zombie Hongya. 10th tier master level zombie by Wawa. 7th tier master level zombie Yutong. 7th tier master level zombie Alchi. 6th tier master level zombie Bone Maiden. 6th tier master level zombie Longyu. 6th tier master level zombie MOU. 6th tier master level zombie. MOU was the zombie queen. Yili had given her the name not long ago. Ding. Congratulations, host, on obtaining the opportunity for zombie fusion. Yili had obtained the opportunity to fuse zombies when he was in the Anon base city. He fused the silver, copper, and iron of the White Lotus sect with Ada. And now he obtained it again. Yili thought for a moment and decided to fuse the 18 copper armor clawed zombies. He had a feeling that the 18 copper armor clawed zombies weren't very useful. Then Yili fused the 18 copper armor clawed zombies with all the zombie fusion begins. 10%, 30%, 60%, 100%. Fusion complete. Ada upgraded to a first-tier Lord-level zombie. Above the Master-level zombies were the Lord-level zombies. The North Realm was too weak. There were no powerful zombies. The world was vast, and Yili knew that his strength was strong in the North Realm, but it was insignificant in the entire world. Yili wondered if he should give each zombie in the Apocalypse Legion a heaven-grade skill. The current zombie skills were too trash. They were practically useless. He hadn't thought about this issue before. He opened the points mall in his mind. His points had reached an astonishing level. He found the zombie skill fusion. Yili bought it without checking the price. Next, he began to fuse the skills of each zombie in the Apocalypse Legion. For those zombies whose skills couldn't be fused into a heaven-grade skill, he bought earth-grade skills from the points mall. Unfortunately, the points mall didn't have heaven-grade skills exclusively for zombies. Finally, every zombie in the Apocalypse Legion had an exclusive heaven-grade skill. Ada, True Fire Domineering Fist. Hongya, Sky Burning Coal Chi. By Wawa. Heavenly Destruction Demonic Foot. Yutong, Great Sky Petrification. Achi, 13 Ghost Swords of Blue Cloud. Bone Maiden, Sky Swallowing Demon Technique. Longyu, Startling Spear Technique. MOU, Sky Destroying Fist. Every zombie now had an exclusive heaven-grade skill. Yili was very satisfied, and he didn't care how many points he had spent. Next, Yili sneered. It was time to take revenge. Immediately, Yili placed the Apocalypse Legion into the system space, activated the swift steps, and disappeared from the spot. Before arriving at the Warrior Alliance, he unexpectedly found himself in a small city. and saw Li Yanlu fighting against several second-tier transcenders. Although Li Yanlu was a third-tier transcender, it was evident that she was struggling against 5 second-tier transcenders. Chapter 510. Li Yanlu's Shock 5-tier. 2 transcenders surrounded Li Yanlu. Li Yanlu, let's see where you can escape this time. A tier 2 transcender stared at Li Yanlu and sneered. Li Yanlu's expression turned cold when she heard that. She had been looking for the place where Yi Li was cultivating in seclusion these days, but she hadn't found where Yi Li was cultivating. After arriving in Lan City, she met genetic warriors under the Grand Elder's command. Li Yanlu held the dustless sword tightly in her hand. If there were 2 or 3 tier 2 transcenders, she could still fight, but there were 5 tier 2 transcenders. Even if she tried her best, she could only kill 2 at most, and she would also die. Li Yanlu, put down your dustless sword and surrender. No one will save you. A tier 2 transcender said smugly. In their opinion, Li Yanlu was at a loss for what to do. Even if I die, I won't let you off easily, Li Yanlu said coldly. At this moment, Yi Li was on the roof of a tall building. His handsome face was expressionless. Now he was already a 7th-tier transcender. In his eyes, the people below were too weak. Humph. Li Yanlu, since you refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit, don't blame us. Goodbye, esteemed 5th War General. As soon as he said so, the 5-tier 2 transcenders attacked Li Yanlu together. Li Yanlu used the dustless sword to fight the 5-tier 2 transcenders. Countless buildings were destroyed. The destruction ability of transcenders was too strong. Suddenly, Li Yanlu used the unparalleled sword intent, and a tier 2 transcender died under the unparalleled sword intent. After Li Yanlu used the unparalleled sword intent, the attacks of several tier 2 transcender arrived in front of her. At such a distance, she wouldn't be able to dodge even if she had 100 legs. At this critical moment, Yi Li slowly raised his finger, and several terrifying golden spiritual attacks flew out of his finger. Swish, swish, swish. As several wind-breaking sounds sounded, a shocking bloody hole appeared on each of the foreheads of the remaining 4 tier 2 transcenders. Li Yanlu was shocked. She had thought that she would definitely die. She didn't expect to be able to survive. And golden spiritual attack? Suddenly, Li Yanlu's pupils were constricted. Demon King Yi Li? She was about to look for Yi Li, only to find that Yi Li had already arrived in front of her. The young man's slightly thin back shocked her deeply. Yi Li turned his face and looked at Li Yanlu indifferently. Are you shocked by my appearance? Li Yanlu was beyond shocked. If it weren't for Yi Li, she would have been dead. Li Yanlu didn't know how to answer Yi Li. Yi Li continued, don't be shocked forever, because everything one do will shock you for 3 days and 3 nights. As soon as he said this, Li Yanlu couldn't help but be even more shocked. Let's go. Yi Li slowly said to Li Yanlu. Li Yanlu was stunned. Where are we going? She even felt that she couldn't breathe because the aura exuding from Yi Li was too terrifying. She remembered that before Yi Li went into seclusion, his aura was not even 1% as terrifying as now, but now, Li Yanlu couldn't imagine how strong Yi Li was. Chapter 511. Coming to the Wang family, Yi Li smiled faintly. To find Wang Zong, of course. Li Yanlu was even more shocked when she heard this. Yi Li, although your strength is terrifying and you have 2 10th-tier master-level zombies, you've seen the Grand Elder's power last time. Before Li Yanlu could finish speaking, Yi Li interrupted her. Do you always talk so much nonsense? A playful look appeared on Yi Li's handsome face. Li Yanlu was stunned. She was clearly doing this for Yi Li's own good, but why didn't Yi Li appreciate her kindness at all? Did this person take her kindness as ill intentions? Demon King Yi Li, although you saved me, I don't think you can talk to me like this unscrupulously, Li Yanlu said to Yi Li unhappily. Yi Li smiled frankly. Come on, it's already good enough that one don't ask you to marry me. How can one speak to you so unscrupulously? Who do you think you are? You. Li Yanlu was a little angry. For so long, she had been very worried about Yi Li, because Yi Li didn't say where he was cultivating before he went into seclusion. She had been looking for Yi Li. She didn't know why she was worried about Yi Li. Perhaps it was because of Yi Li's unparalleled valor that day? Or maybe it was because of Yi Li's jade-like face. Are you leaving or not? If not, I'm leaving. Now Ada was already a Lord-level zombie and had a heaven-grade skill. Who would he be afraid of in the Northern Realm? Let's go. Li Yanlu shouted at Yi Li angrily. Then Yi Li and Li Yanlu headed for the Wang family. The Wang family, the #1 family in the Northern Realm. The former Grand Elder of the Warrior Alliance, Wang Zong, was the head of the Wang family. Now that Wang Zong was a 10th-tier transcender, his family still had 8 7th-tier transcenders. It could be imagined how strong the Wang family was. Yi Li and Li Yan arrived outside the Wang family. Ask them to come out and see me. If they don't, I'll wipe them out. Yi Li said lightly to Li Yanlu. Li Yanlu was stunned. Had this person always been so arrogant? She would rather believe that the sky was about to collapse than believe that there was such an arrogant person. Yi Li, this is the Wang family. Last time, only the Grand Elder went to the Warrior Alliance. Do you really think you are invincible? If you want to die, go by yourself. Li Yanlu said angrily to Yi Li. Yi Li smiled faintly. Do you really trust your own eyes? What? Li Yanlu was a little confused by Yi Li's words. Go. Don't ever doubt my words. Yi Li continued to say to Li Yanlu. Li Yanlu gritted her teeth. Yi Li, don't regret it. As soon as she finished speaking, Li Yanlu walked towards the door. The disciples of the Wang family all knew Li Yanlu. After all, she was the 5th War General of the Warrior Alliance. What are you doing here? A disciple of the Wang family looked at Li Yanlu in shock. Although the Wang family and the Warrior Alliance didn't get along, Li Yanlu wasn't someone they could afford to offend. If they were ambushed and killed by Li Yanlu, they wouldn't be able to reason with her. Tell your family head that Demon King Yi Li asked all the people of your Wang family to come out. Otherwise, Demon King Yi Li will exterminate your family. Li Yanlu conveyed Yi Li's words truthfully. She wanted to see if Yi Li had the capital to be so arrogant. Chapter 5:12. Li Yanlu felt that Yi Li was very arrogant. The Wang family disciples were stunned when they heard this. Then, a disciple of the Wang family came back to his senses and looked at Li Yanlu. Master 5th War General, did Demon King Yi Li really say that? Li Yanlu sneered. Just report to your family head. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Although she, Li Yanlu, was not an extremely powerful genetic warrior, she was still a Tier 3 transcender. Not everyone could talk to her as an equal. Then, a disciple of the Wang family hurriedly ran in. In the main hall of the Wang family, Wang Zong sat on the throne at the top of the hall, and below him were the 8 elders of the Wang family. The 8 elders were all 7th-tier transcenders and were very strong. Family head, do you think Demon King Yi Li left the Northern Realm? An elder said to Wang Zong. They had already received news that the Demon King Yi Li was not in the Warrior Alliance. The first thing they had to do was to find the Demon King Yi Li. Only by killing the Demon King Yi Li would they dare to attack the Warrior Alliance. After all, the methods of a person like the Demon King Yi Li were too terrifying. No matter where he is, we have to find him. Tian'er can't die in vain. Wang Zong snorted coldly. At this moment, the disciple of the Wang family ran to the Wang family's hall. Family head. Family head. Wang Zong's face turned cold when he heard that. He shouted in a low voice. What happened? This disciple of the Wang family didn't dare to hide anything and hurriedly said. Demon King Yi Li asked all the people of our Wang family to go out. He said that otherwise he would exterminate our Wang family. The 5th War General told me this. What? Wang Zong and the 8 elders were all shocked. They would never have thought that the Demon King Yi Li would appear. Yi Li. Wang Zong sneered. Demon King Yi Li. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find you. One didn't expect you to come to me. Everyone, since the Demon King Yi Li wants us to go out, let's go out and kill him. Wang Zong looked at the 8 elders and said. The 8 elders nodded. Immediately, they and Wang Zong got up and walked out of the hall. Yi Li, I've already delivered your message. Now you solve it yourself. Li Yanlu stared at Yi Li. Yi Li's handsome face was as calm as water, as if he didn't care about the upcoming battle at all. Looking at Yi Li's indifferent face, for some reason, Li Yanlu was very angry. She really couldn't imagine what kind of person Yi Li was. Was he not afraid of death? Didn't one tell you not to believe your eyes? Why do you still believe your eyes? Yi Li smiled faintly. Li Yanlu was about to reply, when a cold laugh interrupted her. Ha ha ha, Demon King Yi Li. I thought it would be a little troublesome to find you, but one didn't expect you to come to me. Heaven offers a way, but you refuse. Hell has no door, but you insist on entering. As soon as he said so, Wang Zong and the 8 elders of the Wang family appeared in front of Yi Li. Li Yanlu was a little frightened. Although she was the 5th war general of the Warrior Alliance, which sounded scary, her strength was only that of a Tier 3 transcender. Wang Zong was a 10th tier transcender, and the 8 elders of the Wang family were all 7th tier transcenders. Her strength was nothing in front of them. Demon King Yi Li. Wang Zong shouted at Yi Li coldly. There was still no expression on Yi Li's handsome face. He slowly said, "This little strength is not enough." Chapter 513. Break the first killing array. Demon King Yi Li. One know you have 2 10th tier master level zombies, but so what? This is the territory of our Wang family. Wang Zong stared at Yi Li and said coldly. Yi Li smiled. I Yi Li am the same wherever 1 am. Demon King Yi Li. I'm afraid you don't know the number 1 killing array of our Wang family. An elder shouted. When Li Yanlu heard the first killing array, she couldn't help but tremble. Legend had it that the first killing array had even killed 10th tier dark race members. Of course, Yi Li had never heard of the first killing array, but he didn't think it was terrifying. Are you ready? Yi Li asked casually. What do you mean? Wang Zong stared at Yi Li and said coldly. Yi Li smiled. My meaning is clear. Are you ready to die? As soon as he said this, Wang Zong and the 8 elders were all shocked. They couldn't believe that Yi Li would say such a thing. Demon King Yi Li, 111 let you have a taste of our Wang family's first killing array today. Activate the array. Suddenly, Wang Zong and the 8 elders all began to recite an incantation, and the surrounding kilometer was enveloped by the first killing array. There were countless weapons inside, each condensed from spiritual energy. Of course, each of them was enough to kill. Li Yanlu had also entered the first killing array. Her fair face was full of shock. What should we do now? Li Yanlu looked at Yi Li. Li Yanlu didn't expect Yi Li to be able to laugh. There's no need to panic, Yi Li said slowly. Li Yanlu felt that she was too stupid. Why didn't she stop Yi Li from coming to the Wang family, when she knew that he was courting death? Demon King Yi Li, today I'll use the first killing array to send you to heaven to avenge Tian'er. Kill. As soon as he said so, the weapons condensed thousands of meters around him flew towards Yi Li and Li Yanlu. Seeing this, Li Yanlu was horrified. She closed her eyes because she knew that she was dead for sure. There was still no expression on Yi Li's handsome face, as if he didn't see anything at all. Seeing this, Wang Zong and the 8 elders all sneered. They knew that the Demon King Yi Li was already ready to die. Just as all the weapons condensed from spiritual energy were about to reach Yi Li and Li Yanlu. Just at this moment, Yi Li released Ada from the system space. Ada was now a Tier 1 Lord level zombie. He raised his fist and used the heaven grade skill, True Fire Domineering Fist. Boom. With a shocking bang, the soaring True Fire swallowed countless weapons condensed from spiritual energy. Immediately afterward, the air fell silent. Wang Zong and the 8 elders all opened their eyes wide. They would never believe that the first killing array had been blocked. When the soaring fire disappeared, they saw a zombie in front of Yi Li. They naturally knew this zombie. It was the Fist God zombie, Ada. They looked at Alda and their pupils couldn't help but constrict. Lord level zombies? Horror, absolute horror. Li Yanlu took a few steps back. She dared to swear that this was the most shocking moment she had ever been in her life. Her fair face was full of shock. I said that you should never believe your own eyes, but you didn't believe me. Yi Li looked at Li Yanlu and said lightly. It was not until now that Li Yanlu finally understood the meaning of this sentence. Chapter 514. Demon King Yili, I want to fight you one-on-one. Wang Zong was extremely shocked. In the battle in the Warrior Alliance a few months ago, the zombie Ado of the Divine Fist was still a 10th tier master-level zombie, but now he had become a lord-level zombie. He knew that this must be the doing of Demon King Yili. It was no secret in the Northern Realm that the Demon King Yili could synthesize zombies. Demon King Yili, you actually have a lord-level zombie. Wang Zong looked at Yili in shock. Yili smiled faintly. It doesn't matter if one have a lord-level zombie or not. Just tell me if you are ready. Of course, Wang Zong knew what Yili meant. Yili was asking him if he was ready to die. He had thought that this was a joke, but now he didn't dare to think so, because the Fist God zombie Ada had become a lord-level zombie. Their greatest reliance, the first killing array, had been broken by the Fist God zombie Ada. Wang Zong and the 8 elders trembled. Demon King Yili, our Wang family is the #1 family in the Northern Realm. You. Before Wang Zong finished speaking, he was interrupted by Yili. Let me ask you again, are you ready? Yili said lightly. Demon King Yili, do you really think you have any chance of winning against the entire Wang family? Wang Zong gritted his teeth and shouted coldly. Li Yanlu was already frozen like a clay sculpture. She would never have thought that Yili would have a lord-level zombie. This was a lord-level zombie. It seems that you are ready. In fact, death is not that scary. At most, you will be a good man again in 18 years. Yili slowly said. As soon as he finished speaking, Yili was about to attack. Wait, Wang Zong shouted at Yili. Demon King Yili, if you are a hero, don't let your lord-level zombie attack. Let's fight one-on-one. Wang Zong stared at Yili. One-on-one? Yili wanted to laugh. This was the first time he had heard of a one-on-one battle after transmigrating to this parallel world. Wang Zong was a 10th tier transcender, and Yili was currently a 7th tier transcender. If it were other 7th tier transcenders, they wouldn't have any chance of winning against a 10th tier transcender. But was Yili an ordinary transcender? Although his ancient Dragon Abyss sword embryo was only on the 1st level, it was stronger than the 6th level of the ancient Devil Tome. This was the charm of the ancient Dragon Abyss sword embryo. I, Yili, am not a hero, but if you want to fight me one-on-one, if I don't fulfill your wish, it will seem that I, Yili, am afraid. Yili slowly said. Li Yanlu was a little stunned. She really didn't expect Yili to agree. Wang Zong was a 10th tier transcender. Even if Yili was made of iron, how long could he hold on? Hearing that Yili agreed, Wang Zong didn't expect it either. He couldn't help but put on a grim smile. Demon King Yili, do you really agree? Wang Zong looked at Yili. Yili smiled. You're just a 10th tier transcender. Don't act as if you're sure to defeat me. You really don't know what's good for you. Cut the crap and start. As soon as he finished speaking, Yili took out the ancient Dragon Abyss sword from the system space. The ancient Dragon Abyss sword was fused with 3 divine weapons, and was many times stronger than the dragon-slaying blade. The 8 elders of the Wang family looked at the ancient Dragon Abyss sword in Yili's hand. For some reason, their bodies began to tremble. They didn't want to tremble, but they couldn't help trembling. What could they do? Chapter 515. Fight Grand Elder Wang Zong. Wang Zong had dominated the Northern Realm for many years, but he had never seen anyone like Yili. He couldn't calm down when he saw the sword in Yili's hand. Demon King Yili, even if the sword in your hand is a peerless spiritual treasure, you will still be killed by me. Under absolute power, everything is useless. Wang Zong shouted coldly. Yili really didn't understand why Wang Zong had so much nonsense. Cut the crap. Pity your lungs. Come and die. Yili hooked his finger at Wang Zong. Seeing this scene, Wang Zong burst into fury. Demon King Yili, I'm going to kill you. With that, Wang Zong raised his finger and shouted coldly, Mystic Light Finger. As soon as he said so, a terrifying attack burst out of Wang Zong's hand and flew towards Yili. As the saying went, even if you have a clever strategy, can I find a way around it? Mystic Light Finger? Her brother had the heaven-grade skill, Annihilation Finger. Yili also raised his finger and released the Annihilation Finger. The Annihilation Finger seemed to really destroy the world. and its power was extremely terrifying. The spiritual light of the Annihilation Finger collided heavily with the spiritual light of Wang Zong's attack. Boom! How was that possible? Wang Zong's mystic light finger was dispersed by the Annihilation Finger, and the spiritual light of the Annihilation Finger attacked Wang Zong. Wang Zong was shocked. He never expected Yi Li to be able to launch such an attack. He hurriedly dodged and finally dodged the peerless blow of the Annihilation Finger. Swish! A cold light arrived first, and then the sword shot out like a dragon. A cold light thousands of meters long suddenly attacked Wang Zong. This blow was shockingly fast. Wang Zong's pupils constricted quickly. He was a 10th tier transcender. Swish! Wang Zong used all his strength to dodge the sword light. Demon God Domineering Fist. Yi Li punched out heavily, and a terrifying fist shadow shot at Wang Zong. There were countless gods and demons on the terrifying fist shadow. Splurt! Wang Zong resisted with all his strength, but the Demon God Domineering Fist was a heaven-grade technique. He vomited a mouthful of blood. Demon King Yi Li. Wang Zong's old face was extremely cold. He had thought that Yi Li had no chance of winning in a one-on-one battle with him, but he didn't expect this scene. Demon King Yi Li, you are very strong. You are really strong. I didn't expect that you could force me to this point. However, next, one will crush you into pieces. Wang Zong roared. With that, Wang Zong continued to shout, "Burn my origin!" Wang Zong's strength had actually increased to the level of a chosen one. The level of the chosen one was comparable to the Lord level. Demon King Yi Li, I've lost 10 years of my life just to kill you. Goodbye, Demon King Yi Li. Wang Zong sneered. Swish! Suddenly, Wang Zong disappeared from the spot at an astonishing speed. Yi Li couldn't even catch Wang Zong's figure. He activated the ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. His attribute sword. When Wang Zong appeared again, he was already behind Yi Li and punched him hard. Yi Li jumped and dodged the heavy punch. Demon King Yi Li, even if you have extraordinary abilities, you can't escape. Wang Zong sneered. Yi Li smiled faintly and used the Sil Fusion. The Demon God Domineering Fist and Annihilation Finger, two heaven-grade skills synthesized. Wang Zong looked at the terrifying attack on Yi Li's primordial Dragon Abyss Sword. If such an attack was launched, it would definitely destroy the world. Chapter 5:16. Cloud Peak Academy looted by the Dark Temple. The Demon God Domineering Fist and the Annihilation Finger were synthesized. Boom! A destructive blow shot at Wang Zong at an astonishing speed. Wang Zong's eyes widened because he found that he couldn't dodge such an attack. He consumed 10 years of his lifespan to burn his origin and temporarily upgrade to the Chosen One realm. But Yi Li's attack was too terrifying. When the extremely terrifying attack was about to reach him, Wang Zong's pupils couldn't help but constrict. My life is over. Wang Zong shouted and closed his eyes. In an instant, dazzling light filled the entire sky, like a nuclear bomb exploding. After the explosion, Wang Zong was nowhere to be seen. He had already turned into ashes. This. The 8 elders of the Wang family were horrified. The family head is dead? They couldn't believe that their family head would die. When the light disappeared, the 8 elders of the Wang family looked at Yi Li and found that Yi Li's handsome face was as calm as water, as if he was doing something trivial. Li Yanlu froze as if she were petrified. She thought that she was the most shocked she had ever been, but she didn't expect that she would only be truly shocked now. This shock had even penetrated into her soul. Are you very afraid? Yi Li looked at the 8 elders of the Wang family indifferently. The 8 elders of the Wang family were shocked. Demon King Yi Li, you. Actually, you don't need to be afraid because the dead don't need to be afraid. As soon as he finished speaking, the sword had already attacked. 1,000-foot-long sword light flew out of the tip of the ancient Dragon Abyss sword. Immediately afterward, Ada used the True Fire Domineering Fist. The soaring True Fire also flew over. The 8 elders of the Wang family had died. Yi Li looked at Li Yanlu, who was still petrified, and slowly said, "Let's go." With that, Yi Li left. Li Yanlu came back to her senses and quickly followed him. Demon King Yi Li came out of seclusion and killed the Wang family's head and the 8 elders. Ha! That's impossible. The head of the Wang family is a 10th tier transcender. What's impossible? It's been spreading like crazy. The news went viral, and it didn't take long for everyone to know what Yili did. The Hall of the Warrior Alliance. Master Demon King, many people know that you killed Wang Zong and the 8 elders. Xiaojie, the leader of the Warrior Alliance, looked at Yili and said. Xiaojie only wanted to cooperate with Yili, but Yili had killed Wang Zong and the 8 elders. He really felt that he couldn't talk to Yili as an equal. If they angered Yili, the Warrior Alliance would probably be razed to the ground by Yili in an instant. Just casually. Yili slowly said to Xiaojie. Alliance leader. Alliance leader. Suddenly, a 6th tier evolved being ran into the hall. What's wrong? Xiaojie asked. Cloud Peak Academy, Cloud Peak Academy. The 6th tier evolved being stammered. What exactly happened? The Cloud Peak Academy was looted by the Dark Temple. Countless people were killed or injured, and they were captured by the people of the Dark Temple. The 6th tier evolved being said in shock. They were naturally referring to Xiaohui, Yunman, Su Suner, and Lu Qian. After Yi Li went into seclusion, Xiaojie sent someone to secretly protect them. What? Xiaojie's eyes widened. What's wrong? Yi Li was a little puzzled. He didn't know that Xiaojie secretly sent people to protect the 4 girls, nor did he know who they were. Chapter 517. Dark Temple. Xiaojie swallowed. He looked at Yi Li and said, Master Demon King, Xiaohui, Yunman, Su Suner, and Lu Qian were taken away by the Dark Temple. Yi Li's face instantly turned cold. The undead race had also captured the 4 girls that day. But the undead race was doomed. Dark Temple. Yi Li said coldly. Master Demon King, the Dark Temple is stronger than us. The Master of the Northern Realm is a Tier 1 Lord-level member of the Dark Race. Look, Xiaojie looked at Yi Li tentatively. Where is the Dark Temple? Yi Li looked at Xiaojie. Xiaojie was shocked. Master Demon King, you. I asked where the Dark Temple is. Xiaojie knew that if he didn't tell Yi Li the location of the Dark Temple, the consequences would be serious. Having no choice, Xiaojie could only tell Yi Li the specific location of the Dark Temple. After Yi Li knew the location of the Dark Temple, he activated the swift steps and disappeared. Alliance leader. Li Yanlu looked at Xiaojie. Xiaojie smiled bitterly. Yanlu, we can't stop him at all. Li Yanlu secretly gritted her teeth and stared straight ahead, but Yi Li was nowhere to be seen. Death Mound Mountain. The Death Mound Mountain in the Northern Realm was the largest forbidden zones of life. This was the Dark Temple, which controlled all the Dark Race members in the Northern Realm. Yi Li arrived in the air above the Death Mound Mountain and looked at the Dark Castle below. Waves of evil aura kept coming at him. Kiki. A voice entered Yi Li's ears. Demon King Yi Li, you're finally here. As soon as he finished speaking, a member of the Dark Race appeared in front of Yi Li. Yi Li had seen this member of the Dark Race once. That day in Yun City, he had just fought the 5th War General Lei Gang when this member of the Dark Race appeared. This was a Tier 2 Master-level Dark Race member. Now in front of Yi Li he was pitifully weak. Demon King Yi Li, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Spirit. The Tier 2 Master-level Dark Race member looked at Yi Li proudly. You are already dead. Yi Li slowly said. Black Spirit was shocked. He looked at Yi Li in shock and was about to speak, but before he could say anything, he would never have a chance to speak. Swish. A cold light appeared, and Black Spirit said goodbye to this world forever. Even in death, Black Spirit didn't dare to believe that he had died just like that. Does the Demon King Yi Li have to be so angry? Another Dark Race member appeared in front of Yi Li. This member of the Dark Race was a Tier 4 Master-level Dark Race member. Demon King Yi Li, please. The Tier 4 Master-level Dark Race member didn't say much and made an inviting gesture to Yi Li. Yi Li followed the Tier 4 Dark Race member to the main hall of the Dark Temple. In the hall, the evil aura was even more intense. On both sides sat the powerful Dark Race members, and on the throne above them sat 3 Dark Race members. On both the left and right sides was a Tier 1 Lord level Dark Race member. In the middle was a Tier 3 Lord level member of the Dark Race. With such strength, Yili couldn't defeat them at the moment. But if he ignored the 4 women even though they were caught, would he still be Yili? Demon King Yili, my friend. I'm the master of the Dark Temple in the Northern Realm. It's a pleasure to meet you. The head temple master said slowly to Yili. Where are they? Yili stared at the head temple master. The head temple master was a Tier 3 Lord level member of the Dark Race. Such strength was too terrifying. We are not interested in attacking them. We captured them just to make you come to the Dark Temple. Chapter 5:18. Dark Pool. Yili sneered. I'm already here. You can let them go now. Of course. The head temple master smiled and then said, bring them over. Soon, the 4 women appeared in front of Yili. Senior. A sad look appeared on the 4 women's faces. You can go back now. Yili slowly said, his handsome face expressionless. The 4 women naturally knew that staying here would only bring trouble to Yili. Senior, you have to be careful. Xiao Hui said to Yili. With that, the 4 women left the hall. The head temple master of the Dark Temple looked at Yili. Demon King Yili, an existence like you is actually interested in love. How sad. Cut the crap. Tell me, what do you want? Yili stared at the head temple master and said, it's very simple. Join the Dark Temple. One thing you should know that since you were in the Anan Bay City, we have been paying attention to you. If it weren't for the fact that we wanted you to join the Dark Temple, you would have died long ago, the head temple master said. Yili shook his head and smiled. The second temple master's expression turned cold. Demon King Yili, what are you laughing at? A few seconds later, Yili said, don't think I'm like you. I'm not a good person, but I'm definitely not a bad person. You want me to join the Dark Temple? Dream on. Demon King Yili, do you really think you have a chance to refuse? The second temple master sneered. Yili was now in the Dark Temple. In the Dark Temple, in addition to the 3 temple masters, there were also 10 Dark Generals, all 10th tier master level members of the Dark Race. At present, Ada was only a Tier 1 Lord level zombie. It could be said that Yili had reached a dead end. What if one have to refuse? Yili stared at the second temple master and said. The second temple master's expression turned even colder. If you insist on refusing, the Dark Temple will make you suffer. Demon King Yili, I'll give you 1 minute to consider if you want to join the Dark Temple or not. The head temple master stared at Yili and said. Yili smiled. His handsome face was terrifyingly calm as if he had already ignored life and death. I told you that I, Yili, will never join the Dark Temple. Why should one consider it? As soon as he said this, the powerful members of the Dark Race in the Dark Temple all turned cold. In that case, I'll only give you a small punishment. The head temple master said coldly. As soon as he said so, a big hand condensed from the dark aura reached out at Yili. Yili didn't intend to resist. The strength of the Tier 3 Lord level Dark Race member was too terrifying. He had no ability to resist at all. The big hand condensed from the dark aura grabbed Yili without a doubt. Demon King Yili, I'm going to send you to the dark pool to be baptized by the dark aura. Then, Yili was thrown into an extremely terrifying pool. This pool was full of the purest dark aura, and there were all kinds of creatures formed by dark aura. After Yili entered the pool, creatures formed by various dark auras began to bite and tear him. Since he transmigrated to this world, this was a pain that Yili had never felt before. These dark creatures couldn't devour his body, but his mind and soul. Chapter 5:19. Yili was gone. Yili was tortured in the dark pool for 3 days and 3 nights. He gritted his teeth, feeling that he might be doomed this time. In the end, he was not strong enough. Demon King Yili, how do you feel? A 10th tier master level general appeared outside the dark pool. Yili had no strength left in his body at this moment. He didn't even have the strength to speak. He could only look at this 10th tier master level general. There was nothing else he could do. Demon King Yili, one advise you to join the Dark Temple. Otherwise, you will die a horrible death. The 10th tier master level general spoke again. Ding. Detected that the host is in unprecedented danger and can't escape. The system took the initiative to temporarily increase the host's strength to the chosen one. At this moment, the system's voice suddenly appeared in Yi Li's mind. Yi Li felt that his strength had reached a shocking level. At this moment, the strength of his body was indescribable. Swish. He summoned the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword and activated the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword embryo. In an instant, the chains locking his body were broken. How is this possible? The 10th tier master level general exclaimed in shock. Yi Li sneered. He had thought that he was doomed this time, but he didn't expect the system to temporarily upgrade him to the Chosen One realm. The Chosen One corresponded to the Lord level, and the Dark Race member outside the Dark Pool was just a 10th tier master level Dark Race member. Swish. Yi Li held the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword in his hand. With the enhancement of the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword embryo, his entire body was filled with sword intent, and the space seemed to be cut apart by such sword intent. As a terrifying sword light appeared, the 10th tier master level Dark General's throat was cut by Yi Li. Yi Li put on an evil smile on his handsome face, and the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword let out an excited cry. At this moment, countless members of the Dark Race rushed in. Kill! Yi Li slashed out. The Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword embryo was too suitable for the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. With a cold flash, hundreds of Dark Race members instantly melted into nothingness. Yi Li knew very well that he couldn't fight at this moment, because the system had only temporarily raised his realm to the Chosen One. What he needed to do was to escape. Once he escaped, when the tiger returned to the mountain, half of the sky would be dyed red. Yi Li activated the swift steps. As a Chosen One, his speed was shockingly fast. When the three masters of the Dark Temple and the generals arrived, Yi Li was nowhere to be seen. I'm so angry. The head temple master roared angrily. He was obviously extremely angry. Head temple master, what should we do now? A 10th tier master level general asked the head temple master. Attack! Attack! Catch all Yi Li's women back! The head temple master flew into a rage. But head temple master, after the last time, they must have taken precautions. If we catch them by force, it will probably attract a shocking battle. The head temple master's face darkened. Have you forgotten that the Demon King Yi Li has interacted with many women? As soon as he said this, all the members of the Dark Race laughed. Since the Ananbei city, they had been paying attention to the Demon King, Yi Li, so they naturally knew that Yi Li had connections with many women. Demon King Yi Li, you lose because you think women are very important. You can never escape from me. I'm going to nurture you into a super killing machine. After that, the head temple master laughed coldly. Chapter 520. Return to the Warrior Alliance. Yi Li activated the swift steps and ran far away. Ding. The Chosen One realm has disappeared. As soon as the system finished speaking, Yi Li felt that all his strength seemed to have been drained. He took out a box of food from the system space. After eating and drinking, he took a rest and felt that his strength had recovered a little. Then he began to walk towards the Warrior Alliance. When the four women returned to the Cloud Peak Academy, the president of the Cloud Peak Academy, Gu Feng, hurriedly reported to Xiahou. Xiahou asked Gu Feng to send them to the Warrior Alliance, so they could protect them. Since Yi Li killed Wang Zong and the 8 grand elders of the Wang family, the major affiliated families of the Wang family had submitted to the Warrior Alliance again. Alliance leader, Demon King, Li Yanlu looked at Xiahou. He learned from the 4 women that Yi Li came to the Dark Temple, and then the Dark Temple released them, but Yi Li didn't come back. Alas! Xiahou sighed heavily. I'm afraid the Demon King is already. Before Xiahou finished speaking, a 6th tier evolved being ran in excitedly. Alliance leader, the Demon King is back. When Xiahou and Li Yanlu heard this, their bodies trembled. Is what you said true? Xiahou asked quickly. It's absolutely true, Alliance leader, said the 6th tier evolved being. Xiahou was about to go to welcome Yi Li with Li Yanlu, when he found that Yi Li had already slowly walked into the hall. Master Demon King. Xiahou hurriedly shouted at Yi Li. Yi Li nodded and sat down. I narrowly escaped death in the Dark Temple this time. The Dark Temple won't let us off. You have to be mentally prepared. Yi Li slowly said. Don't worry, Demon King. We're already prepared. I've already brought Xiao Hui and the others to the Warrior Alliance, Xiahou said firmly. Yi Li put down the teacup and looked at Xiahou. Take me to them. Xiahou hurriedly asked Li Yanlu to take Yi away to meet the 4 women. Since the battle in the Wang family, Li Yanlu knew that people like Yi Li were out of her league. She also changed the way she called Yi Li from Demon King Yi Li to Master Demon King. Not long after, Yi Li saw the 4 women. The 4 women all looked sad, and the atmosphere was very solemn. Sisters, look who's here, Li Yanlu said. In the past few days, Li Yanlu had been comforting the 4 women. Because she was older than them, she called them younger sisters. Xiao Hui, Yin Man, Su Sinner, and Lu Qian were all stunned when they saw Yi Li. Then they looked overjoyed. Senior, it's great that you're fine. Xiao Hui said to Yi Li. Yi Li said something to the 4 women, and then looked at Li Yanlu. By the way, where is Qian Ruxia? Li Yanlu was stunned. She didn't expect Yi Li to suddenly say such a thing. Sister Qian went to the Heavenly Star Academy to pick up someone. Li Yanlu said to Yi Li. Hearing this, Yi Li felt a bad feeling for some reason. With the style of the Dark Temple, they would probably, without thinking too much, Yi Li activated the swift steps and disappeared. Li Yanlu naturally knew what Yi Li was thinking. She quickly followed him. The 4 women didn't follow him. They knew that with their strength, if they went there, they would be cannon fodder. Yi Li quickly rushed to the Heavenly Star Academy. Chapter 521. Flame Organization bathed in blood halfway through. Yi Li saw Qian Ruxia and Lu Qingxue. Suddenly, he detected the aura of Dark Race members. Sister Qian, why are you taking me to the Warrior Alliance? Lu Qingxue looked at Qian Ruxia in confusion. Qian Ruxia sighed, her fair face slightly sad. Qingxue, you will know when you reach the Warrior Alliance. Your sister is also in the Warrior Alliance. Qian Ruxia said. Lu Qingxue's sister was naturally Lu Qian. When she was in the Huangjiang Academy in the Huangjiang Bay City, Yi Li took Lu Qingxue away and asked Qian Ruxia to bring her to the Warrior Alliance. The two didn't meet until Lu Qian entered the Cloud Peak Academy. Hee, the two of you have interacted with the Demon King, Yi Li, right? A cold voice entered Qian Ruxia and Lu Qingxue's ears. As soon as he said so, 2 Tier 8 Dark Race members appeared in front of the 2 women. Qian Ruxia and Lu Qingxue were shocked. They didn't expect the Dark Race members to appear here. The 2 girls looked at the 2 Dark Race members. The auras of these 2 Dark Race members were extremely powerful, not something they could defeat. What do you want? Qian Ruxia stared at the 2 Tier 8 Dark Race members. To take you back, of course? A Tier 8 Dark Race member sneered. As soon as he finished speaking, the 2 Tier 8 Dark Race members were about to attack. 2 shocking golden spiritual light attacks pierced through the 2 Tier 8 Dark Race members. At this moment, Li Yanlu came to Yi Li's side. She saw 2 golden spiritual light attacks bursting out of Yi Li's fingers and piercing through 2 level 8 Dark Race members. Qian Ruxia and Lu Qingxue were both stunned, and Yi Li appeared in front of them. Yi Li secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he arrived in time. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Senior. Lu Qingxue called Yi Li. Yi Li nodded and then asked Li Yanlu to take them to the Warrior Alliance. He was going to cultivate. After escaping from the Dark Temple, Yi Li felt that he was seriously lacking in strength. He would release the Apocalypse Legion first, and let them gather the zombies. The strength of the Apocalypse Legion was seriously insufficient too. Then Yi Li found a relatively hidden place, entered the ancient Dragon Abyss Sword, and began to cultivate on the 7th floor of the Heavenly Tower. In the Void World on the 7th floor of the Heavenly Tower, he crazily absorbed the magnificent experience. The flow of time on the 7th floor of the Heavenly Tower was too fast. Wasteland Zone, Flame Organization. Luo Yu held her chin with her snow-white hand, looking a little sad. Sister, what's wrong? Luo Li looked at Luo Yu curiously. Liar, I'm fine. Luo Yu stroked Luo Li's head and said. Then who was Luo Yu? It was none other than Yi Li's first disciple. When Luo Yu took Yi Li as her master, Yi Li asked Luo Yu to cut his head with a knife. At first Luo Yu didn't dare. She still remembered what Yi Li said to her. You are just a piece of trash, a complete piece of trash. How can a piece of trash like you deserve to be my disciple? She gritted her teeth and said that she was not trash. Under Yi Li's continued provocation, she slashed at Yi Li's head with the knife in her hand. However, the knife in her hand made a sound of steel colliding with Yi Li's head. She hadn't seen Yi Li for more than 2 years. Ollie! Suddenly, countless screams came from outside the flame organization. Luo Yu was shocked. She hurriedly got up and went out, only to find that the entire flame organization had turned into a river of blood. 10 Tier 9 Dark Race members appeared in front of her. Chapter 522. Something big happened. Well, Luo Yu's eyes turned red because in this short moment, the entire flame organization was destroyed. And the culprit of all this was the 10 Tier 9 Dark Race members in front of him. At this moment, Luo Li also came out. You. Luo Li was only 10 years old. Looking at the miserable scene in front of her, she cried sadly. I'll fight you to the death. Luo Yu knew that she couldn't survive, so she rushed towards the 10 Tier 9 Dark Race members. But to Luo Yu's surprise, these Dark Race members had no intention of killing her. Instead, they knocked her and Luo Li out and left the flame organization. East of the Wasteland Zone, the Sky Eagle organization was destroyed too. Several powerful Dark Race members took away 2 women, one named Ziqiang and the other named Ling Fei. Ziqiang was someone Yi Li met in the abandoned city in the wilderness. As for Ling Fei, she was the captain of the guards of the Sky Eagle base and had some interactions with Yi Li. It seemed that the Dark Temple had put in a lot of effort to let Yi Li come to the Dark Temple again. Yi Li had been cultivating on the 7th floor of the Heavenly Tower. In a month, he had become a Tier 8 Transcender. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a chance to randomly draw a prize. Would you like to use it? The system's voice sounded in Yi Li's mind. Yes, Yi Li replied without hesitation. The virtual pointer began to spin rapidly in the roulette wheel, and a few seconds later, the pointer stopped. Congratulations to the host for drawing the Earth-level skill, Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique. Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique, an Earth-level skill. After upgrading to the Heaven grade, it can break the sky. Yi Li thought that he finally had a sword technique. Not bad. Host, do you practice the Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique? Yes. Cultivation of the Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique begins. 10%. 30%, 60%, 100%. I've successfully cultivated the Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique. Yi Li thought that he had been in the Heavenly Tower for a month. He wondered how it was outside. Then Yi Li came out of the ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. However, what Yi Li didn't know was that the various jurisdictions of the Northern Realm's Martial City were already in an uproar. In the past month, the Dark Temple had been sending messages to Demon King Yi Li. They said that Demon King Yi Li's women in the Wasteland Zone were already in their hands, so they asked Demon King Yi Li to come to the Dark Temple to pick them up personally. The leader of the Warrior Alliance, Wuxia, was furious. He scolded the Dark Temple for only using women. Countless genetic warriors, armies, and heavy weapons had gathered in the Martial City. Why couldn't the Dark Temple destroy the Warrior Alliance? It was because they had tens of millions of soldiers and countless heavy weapons. Wuxia had already told the Dark Temple that if the Dark Temple didn't let those women go, they would attack the Death Mountain. While you might have perfect plans, one had my own way to overcome obstacles. There were countless Dark Race members and zombies gathered around the Death Mountain. If they fought, the best outcome would be that both parties would be injured. Yi Li was about to return to the Warrior Alliance when he heard the conversation between 2 men who were hunting. Demon King Yi Li hasn't appeared yet. Does he not dare to appear? I don't think he dares to appear. That's the Dark Temple. Women are nothing. He can find other women if they were dead, but if he's dead, he'll really be gone. Suddenly, a young man appeared in front of two men. The young man was naturally Yi Li. Yi Li looked at the two men. Tell me everything you know. Chapter 523. Fulfill agreement. The two men were stunned and looked at the boy in front of them. Why should we tell you? A man said to Yi Li. Yi Li sneered. If you don't tell me, you will die. As soon as he finished speaking, a shocking golden spiritual attack pierced through a big tree not far away. In an instant, the big tree fell. Seeing this, the two men were dumbfounded. Yes. The two men didn't dare to hide anything. They quickly told Yi Li everything they knew. Yi Li's expression turned cold when he heard that. He never expected the Dark Temple to know him so well. Luo Yu, Luo Li Ziqiang, and Ling Fei were met by Yi Li in the wasteland zone. He had only thought that the Dark Temple would attack Qian Ruxue and Lu Qingxue, but he didn't expect that the Dark Temple would go to the wasteland zone to catch them. The two men felt the terrifying aura emitted by Yi Li at close range, and were so frightened that they fell to the ground. Yi Li sneered and activated the swift steps to disappear. He was on the way to the Warrior Alliance. On the way, he asked the system, if one want to defeat the Dark Temple, is it possible? Because the difference in strength between the host and the Dark Temple is too great, it's obviously impossible. However, there's a way. What way? Yi Li hurriedly asked. In his opinion, as long as there was a way to defeat the Dark Temple, he would do anything. As long as the Apocalypse Legion is fused into the host's body. But this will consume the host's body greatly. The host may fall into a deep slumber. After the Apocalypse Legion is fused into the host's body, the host can synthesize and use all the heaven-grade skills of the Apocalypse Legion, and the host can also take it out on your own. Upon hearing this, Yi Li smiled indifferently. It was just falling into a deep slumber. As long as he could defeat the Dark Temple, this was nothing. Then he arrived outside the headquarters of the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance was located in the Martial City, and everyone in the Martial City was already panicking. Countless genetic warriors and tens of millions of soldiers were gathered around the Martial City. A shocking battle would break out at any time. Li Yanlu looked at the young man walking over, her fair face stunned. Lord Demon King? That day, she went to the Heavenly Star Academy with Yi Li to find Qian Ruxue and Lu Qingxue, and then Yi Li asked her to bring Qian Ruxue and Lu Qingxue back. Then, something like that happened. She thought that Yi Li had left the Northern Realm, but she didn't expect Yi Li to appear in front of her at this time. Li Yanlu hurriedly ran into the hall of the Warrior Alliance. Alliance leader Master Demon King is back. Hearing this, Xiahou Jie couldn't sit still anymore. He quickly got up and walked out of the hall. Sure enough, Yi Li came into his sight. Lord Demon King, you're finally back. These days. Before Xiahou Jie finished speaking, Yi Li interrupted him. I already know everything. Let's go in and talk. Then, Yi Li walked into the hall. After everyone sat down, Yi Li looked at Xiahou Jie. I'm here in the Warrior Alliance to fulfill the agreement with you. As soon as he said this, everyone in the hall of the Warrior Alliance was shocked. Agreement? It was naturally about Xiahou Jie and Yi Li cooperating to deal with the Dark Temple. Chapter 524. Went to the Dark Temple again. Xiahou Jie looked at Yi Li. Master Demon King, but now. Yi Li waved his hand, indicating Xiahou Jie not to continue. I'll go to the Dark Temple in person like last time. Take your people to the foot of the Death Mountain. As soon as those women come out, start attacking Death Mountain. Yi Li slowly said. Everyone in the hall looked at each other in bewilderment. They looked at Xiahou Jie to see what he would say. Lord Demon King, if you enter the Dark Temple alone, what if? Xiahou Jie didn't finish. He looked at Yi Li tentatively. Yi Li naturally understood what Xiahou Jie meant. He said indifferently, you can always choose to believe me, Yi Li, because I, Yi Li, will never disappoint anyone. Deal. Xiahou Jie's tone became extremely firm. Destroying the dark race in the Northern Realm was his lifelong wish. If he missed it this time, he might never have a chance again. Master Demon King, may I ask when it will begin? Yi Li pondered for a few seconds and then said, "In 3 days." On this day, Xiahou hurriedly held a press conference and asked the reporters to release a piece of news. The news read as follows. The Demon King Yi Li would go to the Dark Temple in 3 days. At that time, the warriors and the army of the Warrior Alliance would work together to attack the Dark Temple. Besides, this shocking battle would be broadcasted throughout the Northern Realm. He hoped that the forces in the Northern Realm could come to support him and wipe out the Dark Temple, the supreme force of the Dark Race in the Northern Realm. Yi Li didn't expect Xiahou to have such an awareness in the post-apocalyptic world where lives were as insignificant as weeds. When people from all over the Northern Realm heard this news, many people came to the martial city one after another. The Dark Temple also began to mobilize their soldiers and generals. The Dark Race members and zombies in all areas of the Northern Realm also began to come to the Death Mountain. 3 days later, Yi Li slowly walked out of the Warrior Alliance. Xiahou had already informed the entire army yesterday to be prepared. This battle concerned the fate of the Northern Realm. Either the Dark Temple or the Warrior Alliance would survive. There would only be one winner. If the system hadn't told Yi Li that he could fuse with the Apocalypse Legion into his body, he wouldn't have let Xiahou do this. Then, Yi Li activated the swift steps and walked towards the Dark Temple, Death Mountain. At this moment, the surroundings of the Death Mountain were full of Dark Race members and zombies. There was no telling how many of them there were. In short, Yi Li had never seen such Dark Race members and zombies. Xiahou had already led countless genetic warriors and armies towards the Death Mountain. He arrived at the gate of the Dark Temple. A 10th-tier master-level general of the Dark Temple was already waiting for him outside. Seeing this, the 10th-tier master-level general sneered. "Demon King Yi Li, you finally appeared." Yi Li didn't say anything and slowly walked towards the hall. After arriving at the hall, Yi Li looked at the 3 temple masters indifferently. "Has your Dark Temple always been so despicable?" "Ha ha." The head temple master laughed. "Demon Lord Yi Li, I never expected you to be so naive. In this world, actions are judged by their outcomes, regardless of whether they are noble or base." Yi Li sneered and stared at the head temple master of the Dark Temple. "You caught them because you wanted me to come here. Now that you've achieved your goal, you can let them go," Yi Li said coldly. Chapter 525. "Guess I'll listen to you, or not," the head temple master sneered and shook his head. No, Demon King Yi Li. What if you run away again if you let them go?" Yi Li smiled indifferently. "Your Dark Race has always claimed to be the noblest race in the world. Unfortunately, you are all so afraid of me. How sad." The head temple master's expression turned cold when he heard this. He stared at Yi Li, B0X. "Calm, Demon King Yi Li. Do you think the Dark Temple is afraid of you? Isn't that so? It's understandable that you used women to lure me here, but now that I've come to the Dark Temple, you're still afraid. Aren't you afraid of me?" A disdainful smile appeared on Yi Li's handsome face. In the Hall of the Dark Race, all the generals were furious when they saw Yi Li's smile. They had an unparalleled noble bloodline. "Demon King Yi Li, do you know that provocation strategy won't work on me?" The head temple master stared at Yi Li and said, "Of course I know that. But as a Tier 3 Lord-level Dark Race member, you're afraid of a mere Tier 8 Transcender like me. What can I do?" Upon hearing this, the head temple master gritted his teeth. Since he was born, he had never been underestimated. Furthermore, the person who underestimated him this time was not only weaker than him, but also a human. How could he bear it? "Head temple master, the Warrior Alliance and the army are getting closer and closer to Death Mountain." At this moment, a 10th-tier master-level general said to the head temple master. The head temple master smiled. "These stupid humans always think they can destroy the Dark Temple. What a joke. Demon King Yi Li, after my repeated consideration, I can let them go. The Dark Temple is never afraid of any human." As soon as he finished speaking, the head temple master asked someone to bring the women over. Soon Luo Yu, Luo Li, Ziqiang, and Ling Fei all appeared in front of Yi Li. "Senior." The four women didn't expect to see Yi Li at this moment. Before coming to the alliance, Yi Li had already told Li Yanlu to pick up the four women. Go down the mountain first. Someone will pick you up. Yi Li said to the four women. Immediately, Luo Yu, Luo Li Ziqiang, and Ling Fei walked out of the Dark Temple. Demon King Yi Li, now that your woman has been rescued, shouldn't you join the Dark Temple and receive the baptism of the God of Darkness? The head temple master looked at Yi Li. Yi Li smiled. Okay. As soon as he said this, everyone in the hall was stunned. They never expected Yi Li to agree so quickly. Demon King Yi Li, is what you said true? The head temple master looked at Yi Li in surprise. Of course it's fake. Yi Li slowly said. Silence, a deathly silence. All the generals in the hall of the Dark Temple were stunned. They didn't expect Yi Li to say such a thing. Demon King Yi Li, do you really think I dare not kill you? The head temple master glared at Yi Li and shouted angrily. You can try. Yi Li also stared at the head temple master. Take Yi Li to the dark pool. The head temple master roared. Immediately, a 10th tier master level general began to take Yi Li to the dark pool. Not long after, Yi Li came to the dark pool. Demon King Yi Li, go down. The 10th tier master level general said coldly. Guess I'll listen to you or not? Yi Li looked at the 10th tier master level general indifferently. Chapter 526. Fight the head temple master. The 10th tier master level dark general was a little stunned. Demon King Yi Li, it seems that you want me to take action? The 10th tier master level dark general said angrily. Hee, do you think an idiot like you is worthy of fighting me? Yi Li looked at the 10th tier master level general in disdain. Fusion begins. Yi Li fused all the 8 zombies of the Apocalypse Legion into his body. B0X. The Apocalypse Legion wasn't one with Yi Li. If Yi Li wanted them to come out of his body, they would come out of his body. In an instant, Yi Li's combat power was soaring. He had upgraded from a Tier 8 Transcender to Tier 3 Chosen One. This. When the 10th tier master level general saw this scene, he couldn't help but be stunned. Just as he was about to speak to Yi Li, he saw that a terrifying sword had appeared in Yi Li's hand. This sword was naturally the ancient Dragon Abyss sword. Swish. A cold light arrived first, and then the sword shot out like a dragon. A shocking scar appeared on the neck of the 10th tier master level dark general. He said goodbye to this world forever. Next, it'll be a massacre. Yi Li said coldly. Yi Li walked out, and the eyes of the dark race members widened. Could it be that the Demon King, Yi Li, escaped again like last time? Swish. Yi Li didn't say much to these members of the dark race. He melted them into nothingness with a single slash. Head Temple Master, Head Temple Master. Demon King Yi Li has escaped from the dark pool again. A 5th tier member of the dark race ran into the hall in fright, and looked at the head temple master in horror. What? All the dark race members in the hall were stunned when they heard this. Hurry up. Don't let the Demon King Yi Li escape. The head temple master shouted coldly. As soon as he said so, countless screams came from outside the hall. The screams were really creepy. Everyone in the hall of the Dark Temple was stunned. They never expected that the Demon King Yi Li didn't choose to escape. Yi Li slowly walked into the hall. All the dark race members in the hall stared at Yi Li. They were all scared out of their wits. What's with this power? The second temple master looked at Yi Li in horror. The head temple master was also frightened. The aura exuding from Yi Li was even stronger than his. Everyone, are you ready to die? Yi Li's eyes flashed coldly. Demon King Yi Li, although one don't know what method you used to increase your strength so quickly, don't think you can defeat the Dark Temple. The head temple master said coldly. Yi Li raised the ancient Dragon Abyss sword and slowly said word by word. Heaven-shaking sword technique. Activating the Earth-level attack skill, coupled with the enhancement of the ancient Dragon Abyss sword, and the first-level ancient Dragon Abyss sword embryo, the heaven-shaking sword technique was definitely not weaker than a heaven-grade skill. As 2 screams sounded, 2 10th tier master-level generals died without a burial place. Demon King Yi Li, one want your life. The head temple master shouted angrily. He had wanted to turn Yi Li into his ultimate killing machine, but he didn't expect Yi Li to be so untamable. As soon as he finished speaking, the head temple master flew towards Yi Li, and the aura of the entire dark temple became even more evil. Boom! The head temple master threw a terrifying punch at Yi Li. You have a fist technique? One have some too. Demon God Domineering Fist. Yi Li activated the heaven grade technique, the Demon God Domineering Fist, and collided with the terrifying punch of the head temple master. Chapter 527. Earth-shattering battle boom. In an instant, the hall of the dark temple began to shake violently. The head temple master stared at Yi Li. He began to regret not killing Yi Li from the beginning. Now that the tiger had returned to the mountain, it became extremely tricky. Yi Li's handsome face was terrifyingly calm. He had said something the first time he escaped from the dark temple. B0x. Calm. When the tiger returned to the mountain, half of the sky would be dyed red. Everyone, let's kill Demon King Yi Li together. The head temple master knew that he couldn't kill Yi Li no matter what. Immediately, all the members of the dark race in the hall began to besiege Yi Li. Yi Li sneered. Good job. Annihilation Finger. He activated the Annihilation Finger, and in an instant, an extremely terrifying golden spiritual light attack attacked. The heaven grade skill, Annihilation Finger, could be said to be a super upgraded version of the One Yang Finger. It was hundreds of times stronger than the One Yang Finger. All the dark race members hurriedly dodged such an attack. Yi Li retreated dozens of meters and began to synthesize the skills. Among the 8 heaven-grade skills of the Apocalypse Legion, his Annihilation Finger, the Demon God Domineering Fist, and the Heaven-Shaking Sword technique. In an instant, the spiritual energy in his hand became more and more terrifying, so terrifying that it was enough to scare people out of their wits. Retreat, the head temple master said in horror. He knew that if such an attack was launched, they would definitely be wiped out. Boom! Yi Li activated his attack. Such an attack was too terrifying and could no longer be described with words. In an instant, the entire dark temple was reduced to ashes. On the top of the Death Mountain, shocking explosions sounded one after another. At this moment, Wuxia had already led the warrior alliance and the army to the outside of the Death Mountain. Everyone saw this clearly. Alliance leader, they have come out. Li Yanlu took Luoyu, Luo Li, Ziqiang, and Ling Fei to Wuxia's side. Wuxia looked at the shocking explosion on the top of the mountain and gritted his teeth. All-out attack. In an instant, countless genetic warriors and tens of millions of soldiers began to attack. The battle line was thousands of kilometers long. The planes in the sky, the tanks on the ground, and all kinds of heavy weapons. The dark race didn't want to be outdone. There were birds in the sky and beasts on the ground, and there were countless more zombies than the army. In this battle, all the major areas in the Northern Realm were broadcasting this shocking battle. The humans everywhere prayed. Of course, they hoped that the Warrior Alliance could win, because if the Warrior Alliance won, the members of the Dark Race in the Northern Realm would be like stray dogs. The whole scene began to become abnormally tragic. In the air above the Death Mountain, seeing the Dark Temple being annihilated, the head temple master and the other members of the Dark Race gritted their teeth and stared at Yi Li. Demon King Yi Li, I want you to beg for death. The head temple master stared at Yi Li. Yi Li sneered. I hope you can still say such things later. Then Yi Li began to synthesize skills again. Seeing such an attack, the head temple master and the members of the Dark Race couldn't help but tremble in fear. They only had one thought at this moment, which was to escape. But their first stroke of luck doesn't guarantee a second one. Boom! As the terrifying attack was launched, all the high-leveled members of the Dark Race in the Dark Temple died. Splurt! At this moment, Yi Li vomited a mouthful of blood. Chapter 528. Awakening. Yi Li used the last bit of his strength to make the Apocalypse Legion come out of his body. He fell from the sky at a high speed. Fortunately, his defense was extremely strong. Otherwise he would have died. Yili didn't know what happened next. It was already a year later when he woke up. Yili opened his eyes. He was in the hospital. B0X. Calm Lord Demon King, you're awake? A doctor's voice trembled. Demon King Yili was now the hero of the entire northern realm. The matter of the Demon King, Yili, sweeping the dark temple with the ancient dragon abyss sword was still talked about even though a year had passed. That shocking battle lasted for half a year, with countless casualties, and the entire Deathmound Mountain was dyed red with blood. After the high-level Dark Race members of the Dark Temple were slaughtered by Yili, the Dark Race members and the zombies lost their souls. They began to collapse. However, there were too many Dark Race members and zombies. That battle was really shocking. Yili got up from the bed and warmed up. The doctor wanted to stop him, but on second thought, this was the Demon King, Yili, so he didn't. Lord Demon King, more than a dozen girls often come to see you, as well as the leader of the Warrior Alliance, and you seem to have a lot to say? Yili turned around and looked at the doctor. Hearing this, the doctor couldn't help but tremble. Master Demon King, I. The doctor was so frightened that he couldn't speak a complete sentence. Are you scared? Yili looked at the doctor. Yili smiled. You seem to be my attending doctor. Yes, Master Demon King. The doctor nodded. Then you've saved my life. Do you want to become a genetic warrior? The doctor couldn't help but be stunned. Yili bought genetic talent upgrade potions, and some other upgrade potions from the Point Mall. Drink these and you can become a genetic warrior. The doctor swallowed. He took the medicine from Yili with trembling hands, gritted his teeth, and drank it all. In an instant, the doctor became a tear, one evolved being. ILI. The doctor began to ramble. At this moment, he just wanted to cry. He really wanted to cry. He had never dreamed that he could become a genetic warrior in this life. Although there were many genetic warriors in this world, there were more ordinary people. Clang. Congratulations, host, for becoming a 10th tier transcender. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heaven Grade skill, Sky Fiend Sword Technique. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a chance to upgrade your skills. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 20 zombie golden pills. The system's voice sounded in Yili's mind. Yili was a little stunned. He didn't expect to obtain so many good things at once. Host, this is the sum of the things produced by the zombie treasure chest since you fell asleep 1 year ago. Hearing what the system said, Yili understood. No wonder he had become a 10th tier transcender from an 8th tier transcender. As a 10th tier transcender, he only needed to go one step further to become a chosen one. Without thinking too much, Yili upgraded his Earth-level skill, the Heaven-Shaking Sword Technique. Now he had 4 Heaven-grade skills. He released the Apocalypse Legion from the system space. The 8 zombies were all excited to see Yili. Yili handed them 20 zombie golden pills. After swallowing them, the level of the Apocalypse Legion began to change. Chapter 529. The tree wants to be still but the wind doesn't stop. Ada. First tier Lord level zombie, Hongya. First tier Lord level zombie by Wawa. 10th tier Master level zombie Yutong. 10th tier Master level zombie, Achi. 10th tier Master level zombie Bone Maiden. 9th tier Master level zombie, Longyu. 9th tier Master level zombie, MOU. 9th tier Master level zombie. Ding. Congratulations to the host for upgrading the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo to the 2nd level. At this moment, the system's voice entered Yili's ears again. Yili opened his attribute panel and took a look. B0X. Com host, Yili. System, Super Synthesis System. Realm, 10th tier Transcender. Weapon, Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword. Skills, 2nd level of the Ancient Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. Annihilation Finger, Demon God Domineering Fist, Sky Heaven Shaking Sword Technique, Sky Fiend Sword Technique. Now that Yili had 4 Heaven Grade skills, if he synthesized them, it could be imagined how terrifying they would be. Master Demon King. The doctor called Yili in shock. Yili didn't say anything else. He slowly walked out of the ward. It had been a year since he last saw the outside world. It felt good. Yili stretched. He looked at himself and found that he was still wearing the hospital uniform. He wanted to dress up and then return to the Warrior Alliance. Activating the Heavenly Spirit Eyes, he found a branded clothing shop and slowly walked over. Soon, he arrived at the door of the shop. When he was about to go in, a sales assistant glanced at Yi Li and stood in front of him. "Sorry, sir, but you can't go in." Yi Li was stunned. He thought to himself, in this day and age, even if you have money, you can't buy clothes? Isn't it said that customers will always be gods? Looking at the contempt in the salesperson's eyes, Yi Li instantly understood. He shook his head helplessly. Why were there always so many snobs in this world? "Hee, do you know who I am?" Yi Li looked at the female sales assistant in front of him indifferently. The sales assistant looked Yi Li up and down. "Sir, one don't care who you are. In short, you can't enter this place." "What if I'm the Demon King, Yi Li?" The sales assistant was shocked. She looked at Yi Li and suddenly felt that Yi Li was really similar to the Demon King, Yi Li. However, she felt that the person in front of her couldn't be the Demon King Yi Li. How could a figure like the Demon King Yi Li appear here? "Hee, sir, you're really good at cracking jokes." The sales assistant's tone became even more contemptuous. Yi Li was speechless. What should he say? What's going on? Suddenly, a sharp voice entered Yi Li's ears. Yi Li followed the voice and found a young man with an extraordinary temperament walking over. What Yi Li didn't expect was that this boy was actually a genetic warrior, a sixth-tier evolved being. It seemed that he was a genius among geniuses. "Young Master Chen, this person must break in." "I told him not to go in," the female sales assistant said to the man called Young Master Chen. Hearing this, Young Master Chen looked at Yi Li and put on a disdainful smile. "You think you can get in here? Can you afford it?" As the saying went, even if the tree wanted to be still, the wind wouldn't stop. Yi Li just wanted to buy one or two clothes. Why did people always provoke him? "I'll give you 1 second to disappear in front of me. Otherwise, the consequences will be serious," Yi Li slowly said. As soon as he said this, Young Master Chen and the female sales assistant were both stunned. They never expected Yi Li to say such a thing. Chapter 530. Lord Demon King. Young Master Chen frowned and stared at Yi Li. "Do you know who I am?" Yi Li smiled. 1 second is up. As soon as he said so, a golden spiritual light attacked Yi Li's finger. Young Master Chen was only a 6th-tier evolved being. It was impossible for him to withstand such a speed attack. B0X. Kamali. Without a doubt, the man named Young Master Chen screamed like a pig being slaughtered, because a shocking bloody hole appeared on his thigh. "Young Master Chen," the female salesperson shouted. Seeing this, she couldn't help but be scared out of her wits. Young Master Chen was from the Li family. The Li family had a 4th general in the Warrior Alliance. Yi Li's handsome face didn't change at all. He looked at the man named Young Master Chen on the ground. 1 second is up again. As soon as he said so, another golden spiritual light shot into Young Master Chen's other leg. "Ollie!" Another bone-chilling sound sounded. Hearing such a scream, the passers-by began to watch. The onlookers looked at the screaming man, and were all dumbfounded. Young Master Chen? How dare this person treat Young Master Chen like this? Does he want to die? He's wearing hospital clothes. Is he crazy? The onlookers began to discuss. What exactly happened? A deep voice entered everyone's ears. They turned around and looked at the person. More than a dozen people came, all holding laser guns. These people were the guards team of Marshall City. This person beat up Young Master Chen. The female salesperson hurriedly said to the captain of the guard team. The captain of the guard team was shocked. He quickly looked at Young Master Chen, who was screaming on the ground. They couldn't afford to offend Young Master Chen. The captain looked at Yi Li. Then he was shocked. Teach this. The captain was dumbfounded. Everyone was a little puzzled. They really couldn't understand why the captain was so afraid. Did this person have a shocking background? Thud. With a thud, the captain had already knelt in front of Yi Li. Master Demon King. What? Everyone gasped. Was the person in front of him the Demon King Yi Li? They would never have thought that it was the Demon King, Yi Li. The female salesperson was already scared out of her wits. Just now, Yi Li said that he was the Demon King Yi Li, but she certainly didn't believe him. She didn't expect it to be true. Thud. Immediately, the sales assistant knelt in front of Yi Li too. As for young Master Chen, when he heard that he had just offended the Demon King, Yi Li, a chill ran from his tailbone to the top of his head. He had already forgotten the pain and felt as if he had fallen into an ice cave. Demon King Yi Li was now the hero of the entire northern realm. He didn't find it strange that the captain recognized him, because someone would always recognize him. What followed was silence, dead silence. You don't have to do this. I'm just here to buy clothes. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Li walked into the branded clothing shop. The sales assistant's entire body was trembling violently. She didn't know what to do at this moment. What are you waiting for? Didn't you hear the Demon King say that he wanted to buy clothes? The captain stared at the female salesperson. The female salesperson swallowed, got up shakily, and walked into the shop. Chapter 531. Unparalleled woman. Yi Li bought a suitable set of clothes. As the saying went, clothes made the man. He looked much more handsome in it. Immediately, Yi Li activated the swift steps and disappeared. The female salesperson was dumbfounded. She clearly saw that the Demon King was right in front of her. How could he suddenly disappear? When Yi Li appeared again, he was already outside the Warrior Alliance. B0X. Calm. When the people from the Warrior Alliance saw Yi Li walking over slowly, they were all shocked and hurriedly rubbed their eyes, but no matter how they rubbed, they found that they didn't see it wrong at all. Master Demon King, you're awake. A sixth-tier evolved being looked at Yi Li in shock. Yi Li nodded and didn't say anything else. He continued to walk in. At this moment, a genetic warrior had already run in to report. Before Yi Li walked into the hall, the alliance leader of the Warrior Alliance, Xiaojia, came out to welcome him. Master Demon King. Xiaojia called Yi Li. What about them? Yi Li asked. Xiaojia was very smart. He naturally knew what Yi Li meant. Lord Demon King, I'll take you to see them now. Then Xiaojia took Yi Li to a place. Not long after, Yi Li met Xiaohui Yunman, Su Suner, Lu Qian, Qian Ruxua, Lu Qingxua, Luoyu Luo Li Ziqiong Ling Fei and Li Yanlu. Senior. Xiaohui was overjoyed to see Yi Li appear in front of her. Master. Luoyu was also excited. In short, they were all very excited. Yi Li stayed in the Warrior Alliance for more than 10 days. Then he found a quiet place, entered the 7th level of the Heavenly Tower in the ancient Dragon Abyss sword, and began to cultivate. A month passed just like that. Yi Li finally became a Chosen One, a Tier 1 Chosen One. The strength of a Chosen One was on a completely different level from that of a Transcender. Then he came out of the 7th floor of the Heavenly Tower. At this moment, a woman appeared in front of her. This woman could definitely be described as devastatingly beautiful. Anyway, Yi Li had never seen such a beautiful woman. It seemed that this woman was about the same age as Yi Li, but her strength was that of a 5th-tier Transcender. Yi Li was a little stunned. This was the first time he was so surprised since he had transmigrated to this world. The woman was about the same age as him, but she could actually reach the level of a 5th-tier Transcender. How could there be such a genius in this world? However, Yi Li thought that at this level, one's lifespan was very long. He felt that this woman should be very old, but she just looked to be about his age. What are you looking at? The woman noticed that Yi Li was looking at her. She rushed to Yi Li and stared at him coldly. Yi Li smiled. Of course I'm looking at you. Chapter 532. Gaoling. Yi Li looked at the woman indifferently and slowly said, "Then before I die, can you make a request?" The woman was stunned. She looked at the indifferent expression on Yi Li's face, and thought that this person didn't seem to be afraid of her at all. She couldn't help but frown. What request? The woman stared at Yi Li. Yi Li smiled. Tell me your name. The woman was a little stunned. She never expected Yi Li to say such a thing. B0X. Come, you're not begging for mercy? She really didn't understand. Was this person not afraid of death? Actually, I've wanted to die for a long time. Tell me your name and help me, Yi Li said slowly. The woman was stunned. She had never seen anyone like Yi Li. He had wanted to die for a long time? Since you want to know my name so badly, I'll tell you that my name is Gao Ling. Gao Ling said coldly. This was the first time Yi Li had heard the name Gao Ling. He smiled casually. Now that I know your name, do it. Gao Ling stared at Yi Li. Do you really want to die? Come on. Yi Li said lightly. Gao Ling gritted her teeth. She had a bad temper. If it weren't for the fact that she wanted to escape from the arranged marriage, she wouldn't have come to the Northern Realm. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. With that, Gao Ling raised her palm and slapped Yi Li's body. Yi Li, on the other hand, stood still like a bell without any intention of resisting. Without a doubt, Gao Ling slapped Yi Li's body. To Gao Ling's surprise, Yi Li didn't take half a step back, and his face was as calm as ever, as if he couldn't feel any pain. How is it possible? Gao Ling couldn't help but exclaim. She didn't expect that there would be such a powerhouse in the Northern Realm where spiritual energy was thin. She was a 5th-tier transcender. Such strength could be said to be terrifying, but her attack couldn't cause any damage to the person in front of her. Are you shocked? Yi Li looked at Gao Ling indifferently. Before Gao Ling could speak, she heard Yi Li continue. Don't be shocked forever, because everything I, Yi Li, do will shock you for 3 days and 3 nights. As soon as he said this, Gao Ling instantly understood that the person in front of her was pretending to be weak. No wonder this person was so fearless. It turned out that he was so strong. Who are you? Gao Ling gritted her teeth and looked at Yi Li. My name is Yi Li. Yi Li smiled casually and continued. Perhaps you can call me Demon King Yi Li, the future #1 powerhouse in the world. Gao Ling knew that she was definitely no match for Yi Li. She slapped Yi Li, but Yi Li was fine, which proved that Yi Li was much stronger than her. Are you the strongest person in the Northern Realm? Gao Ling stared at Yi Li, sort of. Yi Li slowly said. From your tone, aren't you from the Northern Realm? Yi Li asked again. Gao Ling snorted and said in a disdainful tone. My identity is so noble. How can I be from the Northern Realm? Even without Gao Ling telling him, Yi Li had guessed that Gao Ling must have an extraordinary background. It could be seen from her temperament. If you're not from the Northern Realm, why are you here? If I hadn't run away from the arranged marriage, would I have come to your Northern Realm? Gao Ling's tone was extremely arrogant, as if she despised the Northern Realm. Chapter 533. A group of 6th-tier transcenders. Yi Li found Gao Ling interesting. Oh, then you can leave the Northern Realm now. You are not welcome in the Northern Realm. Gao Ling was stunned for a few seconds before she came back to herself. She didn't expect Yi Li to say such a thing. Does my arrival in the Northern Realm have anything to do with you? Gao Ling felt that Yi Li was really ridiculous. B0X. Calm. How can it be unrelated? I'm the strongest person in the Northern Realm. If I want you to leave, you have to leave. If I want you to stay, you have to stay. Yi Li said lightly. Gao Ling was a little afraid, but she still pretended to be calm. What if one don't leave? Gao Ling stared at Yi Li. Then you have to be prepared to bear the consequences. With that, Yi Li walked towards Gao Ling step by step. Gao Ling looked at Yi Li, who was walking over, and began to retreat. What? What do you want? Yi Ling asked. Everyone knew what Sima Zhao was thinking. I'm sorry. Can't one apologize to you? Gao Ling's fair face was full of grievance. Yi Li smiled. He had wanted to scare Gao Ling. He had thought that it would be difficult for a girl like Gao Ling to apologize, but he didn't expect it to be so easy. Since you sincerely apologize, I'll forgive you, Yi Li said leisurely. Although Gao Ling apologized, she was very unconvinced. It seems that someone is here to die. Yi Li looked straight ahead. Gao Ling was stunned and panicked. They're here to catch me. What should I do? Yili checked the realms of these people with heavenly spirit eyes, and found that they were all 6th-tier transcenders. A transcender was comparable to a master-level zombie, so Yili certainly wasn't afraid. What are you afraid of? Yili looked at Gao Ling impatiently. Immediately, 7 6th-tier transcenders appeared in front of Yili. Linger, come back with us. It's for the good of our sword sect that we let you marry into the Heavenly Blade sect. That's right, Linger. Recently, there have been more and more dark race members and zombies outside the Sword City. If it weren't for the help of the Heavenly Blade sect, our sword sect would have been doomed. Hearing this conversation, Yili roughly understood what was going on. However, he felt that as a member of the sword sect, Gao Ling should step forward in times of danger. She was just sacrificing her own happiness. A little woman was a little woman after all. She was willful. But I really don't like Shi Yun. Gao Ling said gloomily. Linger, in the East Realm. You and Shi Yun are known as a dragon and a phoenix. You're a match made in heaven. What's there to dislike? Yili thought to himself, so Shi Yun is also a super genius, known as a dragon and a phoenix with Gao Ling, but it's hard to say about love. Love, whether you complicated it or simplified it, was ultimately about 4 phrases. I love you, I hate you, are you okay, and I'm sorry. Linger, do you want to ignore the sword sect for your own sake? A middle-aged man shouted. Yili thought that these 6th-tier transcenders in front of him should have some weight in the sword sect. They should be outer sect elders. After all, he had read many Wuxia novels when he was in Wuxia. By the way, are there many zombies in your place? Yili suddenly asked. The 7 6th-tier transcenders were a little stunned. They didn't take Yili seriously at all, nor did they expect Yili to interrupt. Who are you? A 6th-tier transcender looked at Yili. It doesn't matter who 1 am. Just answer my question, Yili said slowly. Chapter 534. You are also members of the Apocalypse Legion. The 7 6th-tier transceivers were a little stunned, wondering what was wrong with the person in front of them. I repeat, answer my question. Yili said slowly. Brat, are you looking for death? A 6th-tier transcender roared. Yili's handsome face didn't change at all. He looked indifferently at the 6th-tier transcender who spoke. Believe it or not, I can make you fall to the ground with my eyes. B0X. Calm, arrogant, absolutely arrogant. Just as Yili had guessed, the 7 of them were all outer elders of the sword sect. They were all 6th-tier transcenders and had seen countless arrogant people. But this was the first time they had seen someone as arrogant as Yili. Brat you, but before the 6th-tier surpasser finished speaking, he let out a shocking scream. Oh! The scream was really creepy. The remaining 6 6th-tier transcenders were stunned. Before they could see how Yili attacked, a bloody hole appeared on Elder Zhang's leg. You. Yili smiled calmly. Don't be afraid. One just want to know if there are many zombies in your place. Yes, there are many dark race members and zombies gathered outside Sword City now, Gao Ling said in shock. She thought to herself, fortunately, I didn't go too far just now. Otherwise, I would have ended up like Elder Zhang. Now there were almost no zombies in the entire northern realm. They had all perished in that battle, so Yili could only go elsewhere. Immediately, Yili raised his palm, and a gentle golden spiritual light entered the wound on Elder Zhang's leg. A miracle happened. The wound on Elder Zhang's leg healed at a visible speed. How is this possible? Gao Ling and the 6 6th-tier transcenders widened their eyes in shock. Of course, they had never seen such a divine technique in their lives. Elder Zhang was also stunned. He looked at his thigh in shock. The wound was gone? Your talent is only SSS grade. Why is your realm so high? Gao Ling looked at Yili in confusion. This time, it was Yili's turn to be stunned. An SSS-level genetic talent was the highest in the Northern Realm. Was it very low in the Eastern Realm? Of course, Yili wouldn't tell Gao Ling that he had a system. I'm going to your place, Yili said. To our place? Gao Ling looked at Yili in confusion. Yili smiled. That's right. It's a great opportunity for you to meet me, Demon King Yili. But before that, you have to go somewhere with me. Gao Ling and the 7 6th-tier transcenders were a little stunned. Meeting him was a great opportunity? What did it mean? By the time they came back to their senses, Yili had already walked more than a dozen steps away. They looked at each other and immediately followed him. Yili took them to the Warrior Alliance. Xiahou Jie was a 10th-tier transcender after all. He was a little puzzled to see Yili brought back so many transcenders. Yili said that Xiahou Jie said that he was leaving the Northern Realm. He arrived in front of the 11 women. "Senior, you're back." Xiao Hui smiled sweetly at Yili. Yili smiled. "Are you willing to go with me?" As soon as he said this, the 11 women were all stunned. "Senior, where are you going?" Ziqiang asked. "You'll find out when we get there," Yili said slowly. "By the way, from today on, you are also members of the Apocalypse Legion," Yili said to the 11 women. Chapter 535. Coming to the Eastern Realm, Xiao Hui, Lu Qian Su Suner, Lu Qian Qian Ruxua Lu Qingxua, Luo Yu, Luo Li Ziqiang Ling Fei, and Li Yanlu were all shocked. "Senior, are we members of the Apocalypse Legion?" Xiao Hui looked at Yili and asked. They naturally knew about the Apocalypse Legion. "That's right, because I will take you away from here," Yili slowly said. Gao Ling and the 7 6th-tier transcenders were all stunned. Did Yili mean that he was going to take these women all to Sword City? B0X. Calm. Their shocked expression was naturally seen by Yili. Yili looked at Gao Ling indifferently. "I don't think you will refuse." Now Gao Ling finally understood what kind of person Yili was. She had thought that Yili was just a super strong megalomaniac, but after seeing so many beauties, she felt that not only was she wrong, but she was completely wrong. "Miss, look," a 6th-tier transcender said softly to Gao Ling. Gao Ling gritted her teeth and stared at Yili. Yili's tone seemed unquestionable. "What do you mean?" Gao Ling said coldly. Yili smiled. "I don't mean anything special. One just want to tell you that I'm taking them to Sword City. By the way, they aren't the only soldiers in the Apocalypse Legion." With that, Yili released Ada and the others from the system space. Roar. "What?" Gao Ling looked at the 8 zombies in front of her, and couldn't help but take 3 steps back in fright. How is this possible? Gao Ling's eyes were filled with horror. She would never have dreamed that such a scene would happen. It was the same for the 7 6th-tier transcenders. There were actually Lord-level zombies, and the lowest was a 9th-tier Master-level zombie. Yili's handsome face didn't change at all. He said casually to Gao Ling, "Let's go." Since the ancient devil tome became the ancient dragon abyss sword embryo, Yili was no longer a demon, but a human. But if he had to choose, he was certainly willing to be a demon. Gao Ling didn't understand why Yili wanted to go to the Sword City. She remembered Yili asking her if there were many zombies in the Sword City. Could it be? Suddenly, Gao Ling thought of an extremely shocking possibility. Was he going to subdue the zombies? Gao Ling didn't know how Yili could control zombies. Gao Ling and the 7 6th-tier transcenders had no room to refuse. They had seen how terrifying Yili was. In this way, Yili took the Apocalypse Legion to the Eastern Realm. The Eastern Realm was countless times larger than the Northern Realm, so the spiritual energy was naturally much more abundant. As soon as Yili arrived in the Eastern Realm, he heard the system's voice in his mind. Ding! The host's genetic talent has been upgraded to the heaven-defying level. Yili was stunned. Heaven-defying level. The host's genetic talent far exceeds the SSS grade, but the highest genetic talent in the Northern Realm can only be at the SSS grade. Hearing what the system said, Yili understood. Soon Yili and the Apocalypse Legion arrived outside Sword City. At this moment, there were countless zombies outside the Sword City. To Yili's surprise, there were many high-leveled zombies among these zombies. It seemed that the zombies in the east were much stronger than those in the Northern Realm. Yili, let's go back to the Sword Sect first. Gao Ling looked at Yili. Yili nodded and followed Gao Ling onto a hidden path. Soon, they arrived at the Sword Sect. The Sword Sect was undoubtedly a sect that focused on swords. As soon as he arrived at the Sword Sect, countless disciples cast strange looks at him. You're tuning in to the Limei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.